Welcome back, and today we're going to be reviewing the re-release of the Spyderco Dodo. This one is a Blade HQ exclusive that drops today, September 12th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. For me, I think it's 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. These were originally released back in 2003. I remember specifically, I was on Blade forums and somebody showed a picture of this, and it was such a polarizing design. I didn't really get it, but after many years of handling knives, testing knives, I understand the concept on it, and super excited to get to check this one out. This was sent in to me by Blade HQ, and this would be the first time I've tested a fully serrated Spyderco on the channel. So needless to say, I was excited. So this is a very compact knife at 6.125 inches long. It has a 2.06 inch hawkbill blade. Look at that. That is wicked. You have the black DLC coating on this one. The Blade HQ exclusive version, besides having the DLC blade on this one and the Spidey edge, the fully serrated edge, they're in CPM M4, which in my opinion is an excellent choice for such a small knife with serrations at that, because M4 is a very tough, high-speed tool steel. It's got great wear resistance and very fine grain structure. So talk about can take a nice toothy edge or just a very, very keen edge at a low angle if you want. And I think that's why it's such a popular steel in the blade sports competition choppers, because they need to be able to cut a wide gambit of materials fast and efficiently. So they got those thick stock knives that come down nice and thin, and they're able to take those impact cuts and hold that edge through all that cutting that they do. And that's why I said I think it was a good choice on a serrated edge knife. These serrations right here, as you can see, besides being wicked, are chisel ground, meaning the actual grinds on this side. And then even though you have the bevel here, your edge is chisel ground. So they just knock the burr off on this side. That way they can keep it super thin. And I mean, look at that tip. That's devastating there. And they're able to do that because of that grind. And your actual grind is a hollow grind, and the edge is a chisel edge. And it comes up really high on this side to give you that very acute angle. Man, you should just feel these. Talk about wicked, wicked. Now, I hate sharpening serrations, but over the years, what I've found, I have a few sets of round ceramic stones, and you just try to find one that you can lay in that section and just lightly hone it. That's about all I'm going to do with it. I'm not trying to sharpen these. I don't know if Spyderco offers a free sharpening or not, but if and when I ever need to sharpen these again, I'm probably going to get sent off. It's just too tedious for me. I can't sit through that kind of sharpening session. Your blade stock thickness on this one is coming in at 0.125. And like I said, this thing feels stupid sharp. Let's see what it can do on all the materials I cut. Yeah, this knife is very, very sharp. I didn't expect anything less from Spyderco. This is the first time I've gotten the chance to test the Spidey edge, fully serrated edge, on any of my stuff that I do. And one thing I noticed right off the bat is that when you're these are chisel ground serrations, you gotta be holding the knife at the correct angle, or it's gonna feel like it's dull. But once you're in that correct angle, it goes through it so effortless. And being this is a hawkbill, it's basically drawing the material in. I can't explain it to you. You'd have to feel it for yourself, but man, crazy how aggressive this edge is. Now, that tip up there, I'm barely putting any pressure whatsoever into this cardboard right here, and it's like it feels better than a razor blade does. I guess because of the way it's hooked. Now, maybe if I had one of them carpet razor blades that's hooked, maybe it'd be the same, but yeah. And I was just trying to do this just to see how easy it goes through, and it may look like a struggle. It's just because, you know, the way that hook goes down, I'm not able to follow through. It would have probably been way better if I would have been holding this in hand, but I'm not a smart man, and I'm a poet and didn't know it. But the initial cut is going through it. Just look at this. It just falls through. I mean, when I say no pressure, no pressure. And finally, I stopped trying to get it all the way through, just showing that, yeah, it's a devastating area up there in the front. The whole edge is devastating. If you would be buying this as a self-defense blade, you're definitely going to be locked in, no doubt. And I definitely wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of anything with this. Not something I'll ever carry it for, but, you know, if you're trained in that manner, and that's what you choose to do, then do it. That's up on you. Same thing with the leather. I was in amazement on how little pressure, once it hooks into that material, it's so sharp up there in the front, it just glides through it. You got a needle-like tip, and boy, I had a scare. Right before this, I was moving something and I had the knife open and it fell off my cutting table onto my granite countertop, and I thought the worst. But yeah, look at this. Once again, gliding through the material. Now, it's not always able to follow through, and that's just the blade shape, but nothing felt like it was struggling at all. The DLC coating didn't cause any drag, and yeah, if you are going through denim in some sort of slash cut, yeah, that just it's amazing on how quickly it falls through this material. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Boy, oh boy, was that a fun one to test. This won't be my last Spidey Edge. Now it has me wanting like an Endura Spidey Edge in like K390 or something like that. Such an aggressive cutter. And let's touch on the ergos real quick. So I already knew this right here was going to be great for the palm because it's going to really conform to the palm. Then you have this forward finger choil. So they're able to make a very compact knife fit really good in medium-sized hands or large hands. Now my medium-sized hands, these two fingers fit in this little choil area right here, and then that forward choil, and then this one kind of wraps around that back end. It's very, very comfortable for my hands. You got this little scoop on the spine, really locks you in if you need to get some downward force. And the hammer grip, it's good, especially being that these are just flat scales. I wasn't sure, you know, if you look at this, you're like, oh, that's gonna be terrible. Now, this grip is not the best because that kind of sticks into the palm of my hand. It can be done, but you know, this is definitely way more comfortable, and I think this is where they designed this to be held. The pinch grip is nice. This pointer finger grip is really good, and that scoop allows you to put downward force into that tip. Even though all the stuff that I did, when I say I could have probably held it like this, put the tip in there and just pulled like that, and it would have just went right through it. Especially if you catch it in the little hook right there, it's gonna get stuck in that little spot right where it kind of jumps up right there, and just drag it straight through the material. And it was like that for pretty much all the stuff I cut. All right, let's close it up. Take a look at the handle area. So being it's a Blade HQ exclusive, you have the JG10 and it's Peel Ply G10. Offers the perfect amount of traction. It's not overly aggressive, but it's a really nice tactile feel there. Your hardware is all black coated. You have flow through construction, one standoff here, and all you have, there's no liners. You can kind of see it's translucent right there. You can see the blade. Hopefully you can see that, the blade in there. Lift it out. This little piece right here is just housing the ball lock. We'll talk about that in just a second. You have a tip up deep carry wire pocket clip. It's not really deep carry. You got about that much sticking out, but it does allow you to grab a hold to it and pull it out. And you got enough ramp that it clears my jeans nicely. And that's what you have sticking out of the pocket, which I don't mind because that peel ply and the pressure from this clip causes it to have a decent bit of friction trying to get it out. So you want to be able to hold on to something when you're pulling it out of the pocket. Now, there's no flat spot underneath there, so that's probably going to become a pocket shredder over time if you plan on EDC in this. And I'm so happy that it is a reversible clip. This is about the best way I can show this. There's the centering. Looks like it's perfectly down the middle. Now, let's talk about this ball lock. It's a very strong locking mechanism. You got that huge ball bearing, and it's captured whenever it slides forward like that. It's wedging itself in between this portion right here and the tang of the blade. So when I say I cannot muscle any side to side, no up and down, very, very tight lockup. But I have one big issue with it, and maybe it's just me, or maybe it's mine, or, you know, my dexterity is poor, especially my fingers. But they gave you some nice chamfers in the G10. But look how far down that ball is. I mean, it's probably not going to do it any justice, but you already got to like bury your fingers in there, okay? And that ball, if you look at it, is almost mirror polished. It's very slick. I don't understand, get it why this is like this when they first designed it, but it would have been so much smarter and better if they would have taken this one right here and put pads on it like they have on this right here. The Manix 2, you know, it's still not the easiest one for me to disengage, but those grips on that pad, I can pull it back rather easily. With this one, I'm not gonna lie, I gotta push the blade back, and it's kind of sticky on mine, and I think it's because they put the DLC on the actual tang of the blade right there. You can see where the DLC stops on where it's like rolling to give it a super smooth action. They like polish that portion, but there's DLC on the very top. So whenever I open this, it doesn't matter, you know, it's not as bad whenever I open it slow, but if I flick it out, I almost gotta either bury my fingernail in there to pull it back. Sometimes I grab a little stick like this, a little bamboo chopstick, and push it down. For me, it's very hard. Hopefully it's just because of my dexterity issues. It would have been a whole lot better to have something like this captured around that ball where it's sticking out. Like, if you look, it's not sticking out here, but you see that those pads stick out past the G10. This one, you actually got to get your fingers in there. Love to hear y'all thoughts and opinions on that. Now for some quick size comparisons. It's just a little shorter than the Spyderco Chaparral, and it's a little longer than the Spyderco Dragonfly 2. It's also a good bit shorter than both the Ontario Rat 1 and 2. And it's very similar in length to the Spyderco Micro Jimbo and the Buck Mini Range Pro. And lastly, it's just a hair shorter than the Chavez Tac, and it's just a hair longer than Shielded Knives Sith. Now, being that absolutely no knife is perfect, what are my nitpicky complaints? We just talked about it. The only thing I can really be nitpicky about is the lock. Other than that, as a tactical self-defense knife, if you're trained in that kind of thing, and that's what you buy this for, yeah, this thing would be absolutely devastating. As an EDC knife, it would also be really good if you do a lot of detailed cutting, breaking down boxes. It's a very comfortable knife. It's a very wicked knife. And this is a piece of Spyderco history. It was awesome to finally get to test a Spidey Edge knife. And if that's something you'd like to see more of on the channel, like I said, I'm really contemplating on picking up an Endura in maybe K390 if I can find it with the Spidey Edge. So let me know your thoughts on the Spyderco Dodo. Do you plan on picking one of these up, or do you already own one? That's gonna wrap up today's video. If you have any questions in particular, feel free to ask me down below, and I'll do my best to get back with you. If you're interested in picking up one of these and they're still available, I will have them linked down below in the description. It will be an affiliate link, so if you want to help support what I do here in this channel, that helps me pay for my testing materials. Thank you so much. If not, no sweat at all. I just enjoy having you here. All right, guys and girls, I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.